I have the students, I treat them kind of like my older children. I say they never leave home. You know, every week they come in, and it's just amazing. You know, it's making us feel really good, and for us to be able to do the mission of the college is to open up these opportunities, and you know, our new mantra, opening doors. And we've really got the chance now to open the doors for everybody, no matter what your schedule is, no matter what your financial situation is. You know, we've been able to kind of put together a program for anyone who's interested.
That's fantastic, and that's a good segue into something Jason was talking about before we went on the air about Hawkeye developing some new ways of offering classes. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
You bet. Marty's program is a good example of the direction education in general is taking, I think, and that is more options for people than have ever existed before. Just to give you an example, if you look at the length of time it takes to complete a course, we have what are called mini-masters. Those take 8 days. You get 3 credits for that. We have 5-week classes. We have 8-week classes. We have 10-week classes. We have 12-week classes, and we have 16-week classes. Classes in the morning, afternoon, and evening, and all day long online, of course. We have classes at all of the centers that, you know, within Waterloo and Cedar Falls, Independence, Waverly, out in the Western Outreach, out by Grundy Center. So the number of ways that students can get classroom content delivered to them has exploded in the last 10 years, and at Hawkeye in particular in about the last 24 months. If you looked at our catalog 5 years ago, there would have been real limited offerings for that sort of stuff. Now, it doesn't matter whether you're a transfer student, whether you're looking at an applied science program like CNC or welding or something like that, there are going to be options that fit a busy lifestyle. As I said, I work with adult students. Most people can't, as Marty was saying earlier, drop everything that they're doing in their life just to report to class every single day.
Right.
You know, they have families, they have mortgages, rent, car payments, whatever to make. So they're trying to develop their career while maintaining their career.
Yes.
That said, there are a lot of instances where people are between jobs in the middle of their career. But those people want to finish quickly. You know, the old idea of you go to school in the school year and then you have the summer off isn't exactly what most 40-year-olds want. You know, that's a kind of an idea that's very friendly to an 18-year-old who wants to move back home and get a summer job, but that's not an option for a 40-year-old. So, you know, the old phrase is the non-traditional student. We regard the old-style non-traditional student as now our traditional student. That is what we're expecting to come through the door, is people wanting to build their career, so we have to give them options. The important thing is, you don't have to sort out all that stuff on your own. You don't have to start clicking away at our website, which has hundreds of pages of information. Talk to us. Call the admissions office, set up a time, send us an email, whatever it takes, and we will customize something for you.
That is fantastic. You know, a tailor-made program to fit your lifestyle and what you have going on. I mean, you can't beat that. You know, beat that. It's something I mention every show. Hawkeye Community College has a way of assessing the community needs, then building programs to meet those needs, and you know, again, just some of the stuff you both mentioned, just incredible. You know, at being a community college and really living up to that, and again, living up to our new mantra, opening doors.
Exactly.
You know, another thing, Jason, you touched on earlier as well, before we went on the air, was it's not all about just getting students in and then letting them go. It's about actually seeing them through their entire program and making sure that they're successful. Did you want to touch on that a little bit?
Exactly. You know, a college, if you look at it from one angle, it just looks like a place where there's a collection of classrooms. People go there and then they learn something in the classroom and then they go home, you know, and do their homework. It's got to be bigger and better than that for it to really be useful for students. And what I'm talking about is, as an admissions office, we can go out and generate, you know, applications to the college all day long. You know, we know how to recruit, we know how to get people in the door. That's wonderful. I mean, that's a good part of what we do. What we really want to do through our orientation process, through our advising process, is connect people with the services that help them graduate. Coming to college on the first day with your backpack and your, you know, your spiral-bound notebook and your freshly sharpened pencil ready to take notes is great. That's a great feeling, but think of how much better it feels when you can graduate and hang that diploma, that degree, certificate on the wall forever. You know, you're hanging those credentials on your shoulders, on your career for the rest of your life. And, you know, if you want to, you get to go through a graduation ceremony and shake the college president's hand and have your family cheering in the stands. doing all kinds of crazy stuff out there. That's our idea of a successful recruitment and advising and college student process. What we really want is people to get done and go back out into the community and share that success with their families and everyone else who lives here in Waterloo, Cedar Falls.
Yes, and like you mentioned, even the whole graduation ceremony itself is something to be proud of. I still have my cap and gown from high school and college,
Yeah.
and every now and then, when I run across a closet, I look at it like, wow, that was, really quite an achievement,
Mm-hmm.
And so, you can't take anything away from that, you can't beat that.
So to circle around back to that a little bit, a lot of students come in and maybe they don't have the strongest writing or math or test-taking skills. You were mentioning earlier about the PALS program, right?
Yes.
That's the academic assistance that you can get going into the Compass assessment. I talk with a lot of people who haven't taken a test in 20 years.
Exactly.
They haven't sat down to write anything longer than a Christmas letter in 15 years or something like that. That is something that we want to know up front, that students need assistance with. That's why we provide that assistance, is we know a lot of folks will need it. It's not that they're not good students, it's just they haven't yet become the best student they could be.
Exactly.
And it's all about taking advantage of those resources. When we have a problem with our car, we take it to the mechanic. When we have a problem with taking math tests, we need to visit a tutor in the same spirit. Let's get it fixed and move on, and that way those skills become useful forever.
Yes, definitely. Marty, there's a program that you also work with, the highway construction.
Women and minorities in construction.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Is that still going?
Absolutely. We just graduated 7 students from that last week. Those folks took off and went right to work. And again, it was about 5 days before graduation, and we were trying to finish up the program, and many of them already had jobs lined up, and I'm getting calls from their potential employers, when can I have them? When can I have them? Actually, last Friday, we just had a barbecue and a cookout to kind of celebrate that. There's another program coming up. I believe that they're going to run that the end of September, first part of October. So anybody interested in that, it's called Women and Minorities in Construction. You can call Tracy out at the Cedar Falls Center at 296-4005. And Tracy can get you hooked up with Sergio Mendoza. And Sergio and I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but one of my aspirations is something Iowa doesn't have. We only have one, I should say, that's clear out in northwest Iowa, is a heavy equipment operator school. And I've been working with Sergio and some of the local contractors, and they are all jumped up on board. Why don't we have it running today? So what we'd like to do in the future is we're hoping to integrate the whole women and minorities in construction. As you know, Warren, now they start out with 3 weeks in a construction class, learning the nomenclature and the tools of the trade and the terminology in construction. Then they come to us for a 6-week evening CDL program. We're hoping to integrate and take that one step further to the basics of operating a backhoe, an end loader, a road grader. And that's kind of our long-term goal out here. It's sometimes my dean slaps me on the back of the head and says, come on, give us a break. But there's so many good opportunities out there, and that's another area where the contractor said, we don't have anybody anymore that can come onto a job site and understand what a backhoe is, what an end loader is. They generally have to promote from within, and that means their in-house training, lost time production, and so they have been very receptive to getting on board and help us develop this. The Women and Minorities contract looks like it's funded through next year yet, and Sergio, here in Waterloo, I want to give everybody a big pat on the back, because this program has been more successful in Waterloo, Iowa, and the surrounding area than anywhere else that it's put on. They're so happy and so proud of the results, and that's nothing we did. That's the people that are coming in and taking the time, and like Jason has said, we've said, they're walking away maybe from another job to try to better themselves, and I see these students come in and work so hard. And the biggest reward is that smile on their face last Friday when they knew they had their CDL, they had a job, and they were going onward and upward.
That is awesome. Well, we're coming up in the last few minutes of the show, so I want to give you both an opportunity to plug any additional programs or reemphasize anything you want anybody to know about. So, Jason, I'll start with you.
You bet. Tomorrow night's Opportunities Workshop is a great place to start. And one thing I'll emphasize is whether you plan on starting on August 20th or next semester, or you don't have a date in mind, the time is now to start making the plans and understanding the steps and how financial aid works. That's what we help students do all the time. Tomorrow night's workshop is about an hour for you. But you can get that individually too at any time just by calling the admissions office. The number is really easy to remember. It says 296-4000. It's real close to the number Marty just explained. If you call any Hawkeye number, I hope that they would know how to connect anybody with anybody else.
Yeah.
You know, that's the whole idea. But if you just give the admissions office a call and say, I'm thinking of going to college, we know what to do for you at that point. We need to start a conversation and find out exactly what your next step is. So come to the thing tomorrow night at 6 o'clock on main campus, and we can get that started.
Fantastic. And Marty?
And I'll end with a fun note. We've been talking about careers and work, but you know, as you know, at the Regional Transportation Training Center, we also offer the motorcycle safety classes.
Yes.
And we have a new exciting one we can offer. If you've seen the commercials on these three-wheel motorcycles, the Can-Am Spiders, myself and two of our other instructors just got back from Omaha, and we're now certified to teach and license students to drive a three-wheel motorcycle. We are the only facility in the state of Iowa that can do that so far. And it's a fun class. It's a 2-day class. You can bring your own three-wheel motorcycle, or we have a couple out there that our sponsors so graciously let us use. We can help you get your license on a three-wheeler, or of course, Warren, you already know, the four-wheeler. And here's the most important one. There's a brand new class out there. It's called the RRBRC. That is a 1-day, 8-hour class. 52% of all you folks out there riding motorcycles do not have a motorcycle endorsement. What the state of Iowa has done is they said, we want to get you legal, we want to get you licensed. So if you come out and attend a 1-day, 8-hour program, you can achieve and get your motorcycle license. The prerequisites to that is you have to be a motorcycle rider. You have to be able to show us that you can shift, clutch, and stop a motorcycle. You know, so now there's just absolutely no reason not to get that endorsement in your pocket.
That is fair. 1 day?
1-day class, yep.
That is incredible.
Yep, if you're a rider and you just haven't bothered to quite go get that yet, come on out. 1 day we can set you up and you know, think of the freedom and the joy knowing that I'm good to go.
Yeah. And what's the cost for that?
The cost for the 1-day program, I believe, is $89.
That's it?
That's it. $89. And we'll have 8 hours of fun. There's some great range exercises we run, some really informative classroom. If you're a novice motorcyclist and you want to learn to ride, that's a 3-day program. We go Friday night and then we ride on Saturday and Sunday. That program's $160.